This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Ruel Penawa, and this is Africa Now. We begin with Mozambique. Testimonies of survivors of the Palma Hotel attack by Al-Shabaab in March to Amnesty International say rescuers gave priority to white contractors over black locals during evacuation. Amnesty International noted that those who attempted to flee by ground convoy were ambushed by the armed group. The Pros Michena, AI's regional director for East and Southern Africa, said the lack of coordination between the Mozambique Security Office and Dyke Advisory Group must be thoroughly investigated. To the Democratic Republic of Congo, Anatole Colinet Makoso has been appointed Prime Minister of the country according to a decree read on Wednesday evening on public television by President Sassou Nguesso's chief of staff. Makoso will be replacing Clement Mwamba, who has been in office since 2016. Makoso began his political career, in 1990 with an advisor to President Sassou Nguesso from 1998 and his deputy campaign manager during the last presidential election. To politics, in what critics have called a political move designed by Uhuru Kenyatta to check William Ruto, his deputy, whom he has fallen out with publicly, Kenya's High Court on Thursday declared Kenyatta's constitution amendment drive illegal, irregular, and unconstitutional.
A declaration is hereby made that the President does not have authority under the Constitution to initiate changes to the Constitution, and that a constitutional amendment can only be initiated by Parliament through a parliamentary initiative and Article 256, or through a popular initiative and Article 257 of the Constitution.
Popularly known as the Building Bridges Initiative, the amendment bill proposes to create 70 new constituencies and an affirmative action clause that could create at least 300 new unelected members of parliament. In line with the Zambian constitution that requires parliament to be dissolved 90 days before the next election, the House on Wednesday held its last sitting and the clerk announced that it would formally dissolve on Friday. The country's polls will be held on 21 August to elect the president and National Assembly. A momentous conservation achievement for Zimbabwe, according to President Emerson Mnangagwa. The country is planning to reintroduce rhinos to its second largest national park 30 years after the last rhino was killed by poachers. The increase in rhino population in the country from 100 in 1991 to 1,000 is the rationale behind the move to the national park, according to Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management Authority officials. The move, which could have taken place last year, was hindered by the coronavirus pandemic. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching Africa Now. We move to business after the break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. In business, not long after the Central Bank of Nigeria announced the indefinite extension of its Naira for dollar scheme, the Naira recorded a marginal depreciation, dropping from 410 Naira 33 kobo per dollar to 411 Naira 25 kobo per dollar on the investors and exporters window. While a slight weakening towards 420 Naira per dollar is anticipated, the Naira is expected to maintain stable levels in the parallel market at 483 Naira per dollar. And away from Nigeria, women in Rwanda have dared to do the unconventional by becoming commercial motorcycle riders, which is a male-dominated sector. To date, 4 women have entered the race to challenge the male bastion encouraged by the Rwandan government. They make about 18,000 Rwandan francs a day after 12 hours of ferrying passengers. The pandemic has been associated with negatives, but alas, there's a positive side to this. The outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic has changed the savings culture of South African households previously treated with a lackadaisical attitude. According to statistics, the household saving rate in the country decreased to 0.50% in the fourth quarter of 2020 from 0.70% in the third quarter of 2020. However, the COVID-19 pandemic highlighted the importance of having some form of insurance as a safety net for unexpected eventualities. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching Africa Now. Developments on COVID-19 coming up next. Do stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. Trying to contain the third wave of COVID-19 infections with a population of just over 100 million, Egypt on Thursday received batches of 2.2 million combined doses of the AstraZeneca and Sinopharm vaccine through the COVAX initiative, according to the Health Ministry. Some 2.7 million people have registered online with the Health Ministry to receive a vaccine. The North African country is preparing to locally produce the Sinovac and Sputnik vaccines. In other health-related matters, the United States has lifted the Ebola travel restrictions placed on Guinea for U.S. visitors who traveled to Guinea recently. The lift takes effect from Friday. Guinean authorities had on February 14 announced a resurgence of the Ebola virus, according to the U.S. Homeland Security. The travel restriction is lifted since no new Ebola cases have been reported in Guinea since early April. And that is Africa Now. For more updates, do visit our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. To stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I'm Ruel Penawo. Thank you for watching.